Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is a special conversation that we are going to be joined by Dr. Habil Khorakiwala, the founder chairman of Wockhardt Group. And remember, viewers, Wockhardt's novel antibiotic Micnuf has the phase 3 trials and the results have actually got published in the Lancet Regional Health. Warm welcome to you, Mr. Khorakiwala, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Many congratulations for this achievement as well. Do help us understand what does it mean for the company so that our viewers are also enriched with that information, and what do you expect with Micnuf?
Thank you very much. I must mention that this publication in Lancet is a very unique one. It is the first time from any Indian organization which has appeared in Lancet. This also means the rigor of Lancet before publication also demonstrates the clinical quality of work Wockhardt has undertaken for Micnuf. So I think it's a major breakthrough in the treatment of pneumonia, both from a clinical perspective and convenience perspective to the patient.
Absolutely. We'll focus on that in a bit, but I also wanted to bring to your notice, and of course for our viewers, we've been talking about the impact of the latest policy decision taken by the Trump government, that's the 100% tariff imposition on branded and on patented drugs. I remember that you've been having a long-term presence in the US market in terms of generics as well, and then you later on exited. I want to first now focus on especially when it comes to the novel antibiotics and specialty products now. How are you looking at this 100% tariff as an impact on the overall industry, and what does it mean for you also, sir, as a pharma company?
I tell you, as a pharma company, and Zaynich would be our product, where in next week or so we would be filing for USFDA approval. And more likely product would be available by late 26. I think on a face of it, 100% tariff, because we are at the moment not manufacturing in US, we are making in Europe actually. So from that point of view, it would be a challenge. But I think we are working out an alternatives, and we believe that by the time product is made available, we will be able to dispose of it. As far as the industry is concerned, I think from India, mainly our business from Indian companies are generic business, and very few branded products are there in US.
Right. Dr. Khorakiwala, could you help us understand on the commercial prospects of your antibiotic pipeline? Does that 100% tariff impact that in any way, or do you already have any alternative strategies that you may be considering? Are you also looking at alternative markets that may actually come up on your radar because of the uncertainty in the US market?
I think all said and done, US is the most potential and the biggest market for any new drugs anyway. So you cannot have alternative to US market. But we have an alternative strategy, and we will have more, because after all, the government said even if you have done planning to manufacture in US, and if you have, in that case, this tariff will not apply. So there are ways available, and we have another 1.5 years to find a solution. And we are certain we will find a solution where we are not impacted by tariff. The second aspect is, we are obviously, this is a Zaynich, we are going globally. So we would be applying, filing in Europe first, after US, and followed by all the countries in the world.
Okay. Dr. Khorakiwala, antibiotics and high risk, they are actually high risk as well as capital intensive. I want to understand, how is Wockhardt really funding the innovation pipeline right now, and by when do you really expect it to generate any meaningful revenues on the books, sir?
So we have already invested over the last 27 years, roughly $700 to $800 million. So investment is behind actually. The future is the opportunities of these investments. And we believe this would be a very significant opportunity in terms of revenue, in terms of profit. But more importantly, or equally importantly, it will be a first Indian product available in US, Europe, and globally. And I think that is something which will help definitely Wockhardt image and perception, but also India's perception is a place for innovation.
Right. Dr. Khorakiwala, I want to understand for the benefit of our larger audiences, what's your thought process? Will Wockhardt explore setting up a US-based manufacturing facility yet again to avoid any tariffs, or is it not part of the current plan?
The issue is that we could get it manufactured in Europe without setting up the facility. And that is the option which is viable and visible. And there are manufacturing facility which could manufacture our end product, basically. And we can avoid a tariff in the process.
Okay. So also help us understand when it comes to specifically your antibiotic pipeline, and if you could help us understand the drugs that are already commercially available and what should we expect in the future as well, any timeline as well that you could suggest.
We expect Zaynich to be available in the Indian market sometime next year, early next year. Dictef is already available. Ambroc, we launched it a few years back. So these are the products which are already likely to be there, and to have from one company three products in a space is a unique thing actually. And that is what we would be developing these markets in India and other countries.
So are you also considering any partnerships or licensing agreements in the US to maybe overcome the tariff barrier for your novel antibiotics?
The licensing arrangement has independent of tariff barriers, because manufacturing is a basis for tariff barrier, not licensing. And we are considering both licensing option and doing it ourselves. But at the same time, we are actively considering licensing option in many other parts of the world. And that is definitely on the cards.
That's definitely on the cards. So what's your overall viewpoint on the industry, the pharma industry per se, amidst the ongoing situation that we are seeing, amidst so much of uncertainty, policy uncertainty, regulatory uncertainty in the world, especially in the largest market like you yourself put it. How are you looking at the overall industry, and do you think there is some kind of an impact on the overall growth outlook that the industry can now pencil in for itself?
See, one of the important thing is that our Indian industry, pharma industry has done exceptionally well in US. Nearly 40% of generic products are manufactured in India and supplied to the US. That would mean substantial part of healthcare management is connected with India supply. Now, any disruption in that will have a very significant impact in availability of medicine and management of the healthcare. The second way, another way to look at it is because Indian companies have succeeded is because we have saved billions of dollars of America companies, American taxpayers and the government who would have purchased this product from the US manufacturer, European manufacturer. So any generic manufacturing in US is going to be very expensive for the US consumers. So I think this is a decision the US government has to take. What do they want really? And if tomorrow they insist that for generic also it has to be manufactured in US, I'm sure Indian companies are well with us to set up the facilities there.
Absolutely, sir. In your own view and understanding, do you expect generics also to come under the fold of any tariffs? Like you pointed out, any impact on that would also turn into self-goal for the US as well, because they will be impacting their own consumers. They will have to shell out much more even for the generics drugs. So do you think the Trump government will take such a step, or do you think the generics are largely safe because of this aspect?
You will need a very brave soul to predict what a US president will do tomorrow.
That's right. What is the way out then, for Indian pharma giants like yours, those who are big exporters and have had a long-standing relationship of providing such critical drugs to the US? How do they foresee and plan up for the next 5 to 10 years? What would you do as a player, and what would you see as the industry taking as the next steps?
See, one of the reasons of India's success in our industry, pharmaceutical worldwide, because they are calling of the pharmacy of the world, is our ability to compete and manufacture the quality drugs which are required everywhere. And I think you leave it to Indian organization and Indian entrepreneurship to meet whatever possible challenges are there. We will do better than anybody else.
Fantastic. In the end, sir, could you highlight for us, for Wockhardt, for yourself, what is your own vision for the next 5 to 10 years? How do you see Wockhardt moving in forward? What are the key segments that are going to be seen as growth drivers for the industry, for yourself, sir?
See, we are today in 3 basic verticals. One is our legacy pharmaceuticals. Then we have also biological, diabetes product, insulin and others. And third is a new one which is emerging, is a new antibiotic drugs. So we believe that our antibiotic portfolio will drive a major, in 10 years' time, our profitability and our turnover. The other area we are focusing is our biological and diabetic portfolio, because we are in all insulins and we intend to develop all insulins on a global basis. And that is one area which are relatively, there are less players in the world, because insulin requires a different kind of manufacturing and technology. So unlike other biologicals which have a large number of players, the insulin diabetic portfolio is going to be limited. So these are the 2 major drivers which would be significant. And obviously our pharma portfolio, the legacy business will continue to grow at a normal pace.
Sir, what about the latest trend? Everybody is talking about weight loss drugs, GLP-1. How are you looking at those as opportunities for yourself?
Yeah, we obviously in the GLP-1 they are manufactured 2 ways. One biologically, the way we manufacture a diabetic product. Another is a synthetic route. So we would be introducing the product, but we would be not among the first to do it, but we would be there to manufacture. And the biological route of manufacturing anti-obesity drug is really very cost effective. It's something, it costs about 20 to 25% of API cost compared to what you do through synthetic route. Okay. So we would rather be cost competitive on a global basis in that space, and which is emerging to be a very large space.
Okay. Any timeline that you can give for us, sir, to understand by when do we expect something on the ground?
In anti-obesity, I think that is not in immediate future. It will come in next few years. But our immediate priority is certainly our antibiotic portfolio.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Khorakiwala. It's always a pleasure to be able to speak to you, to seek such fantastic insights from you, from the wealth of knowledge, that experience that you have in the industry, and of course to help us understand what to make of these newer changes and regulatory uncertainties that the industry is faced with. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you talking to you, Sakshi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Appreciate your time. All right, viewers, there you have it. Dr. Khorakiwala really helping us understand, how does he see the impact of 100% tariff on branded and patented drugs for Indian exporters especially. Of course, what are the opportunities and options ahead for the Indian pharma giants who are dealing with such uncertainties at large as well. Many thanks for joining us onto this conversation, but do stay tuned, as Business Today Television will continue to get you fantastic insights from the world of markets and finances.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.